Overkill. The next morning, I'm watching Cole sleep. He's curled in on himself. The fire is spent, and my clothes, my hands, and the inside of my head all smell like smoke. And yet the sky is blue, finally clear of smoke from an attack on Victoria. It's weird, but even after everything that's happened, I'm still thinking about our kiss. It was my first real kiss, and that look in his eyes. He'll never look at me that way again, or trust me, not once he finds out that I was at the center of my father's plans against his family. Cole doesn't even know my real name, and every time I think about telling him, I think of Sensei Noriko, which is enough to shut my mouth. Still, we need to have this conversation soon before the real Rafi shows up in the feeds. Let's kill a rabbit, Cole says when he wakes up. Sounds good. Find the rebels might take a while, and I'm starving. We drink our rainwater, pack up our meager camp, and hike to the edge of the forest. We leave the hoverboard out in the sun, its solar panels unfolded. Cole leads me along the boundary between trees and prairies, his hunting bow in his hand. We keep to the forest shadows, peering out into the tall, sunlit grass. There are two kinds of rabbits here, he says, somehow still a tour guide. The ones with small ears are volcano rabbits, not enough fat to be worth eating. Volcano rabbits? Really? Cole shrugs. Nature doesn't care what you call it. We're hunting the cottontails, the ones with big ears. Okay, but this is your show. My knife doesn't do rabbits. Too slow? I snort. It can break the sound barrier, but it's overkill unless you know how to cook rabbit mist. He gives the knife a look. What's that thing actually for? For when people try to kill me. If I have to get out of a room, it cuts through a wall. If I need cover, it turns furniture into dust clouds. No wonder Jeffa had it locked up. Cole's eyes go from the knife to me. How do you know so much about ancient weapons? There's no answer for that except the truth. I know all about all weapons, Cole. I've been learning how to kill since I was 7. He looks at me. Did you say 7? Years old, yeah. And I can tell from his eyes the way he sees me just changed. Cole knew right away that I wasn't the temperamental socialite of Rafi's feeds. He liked me because I was someone unexpected, someone who tricked the whole world. But now he's seeing a deeper me, the trained killer, and I'm starting to scare him. After I join the rebels, where will you go? He asks out of nowhere. I stare at him. What do you mean? There's no way the rebels will trust you, Rafi, because of who you are. Who I am? Your father has been at war with them for years. They never tried to kill me. I take a slow breath. Going to sleep last night, I kept thinking about that. Cole wants to join the people who attacked my convoy only 2 weeks ago. Maybe they were waiting for the right time. Are you sure you want to join them, Cole? He shrugs. It won't be easy getting them to trust me, but there must be Victorian forces out there, still loyal to my family, still ready to fight. The rebels and I can help each other. Without Cole, I have nowhere to go except home. But we agreed to be allies, I say. He turns away, embarrassed. That was back when I thought our parents were trying to set us up. This is deadly serious. The rebels will believe that I hate your father, Rafi, because of what he did to my family. But why would they trust you? Because I'm not Rafi, but my lips won't say the words. I don't know what will happen when I unleash this secret. Do I really exist outside of this lie? Because you're a trained killer, Cole shakes his head. That's just another reason not to let you get too close. But I'm not. Even thinking the words makes me start to unravel. Cole's hand goes up for silence. He's staring into the forest, and I can hear the faintest stirring of the leaves. Jaguar, he whispers. I close my mouth, relieved. A wild predator seems safer than telling him the truth. The Rusty's almost wiped out the big cats, he says softly, but they're everywhere now. So it's okay to eat one? Cole gives me a pained look. Really? What? We're starving. People don't eat cats, Rafi. How do you know that? I shrug. My father eats what he wants, whether or not it's on the menu or the endangered list. We follow it, Cole explains. It's probably stocking something we can eat. We push along the edge of the forest. Cole moves in perfect silence, but I'm clumsy and loud. I've been trained to fight in ballrooms, tight corridors, and stairways, but not the wild. Cole comes to a halt, and the bow unfolds in his hand. Its nanotech polymers spread like wings. The string shivers taut. He stares out into the grassland at something I can't see. When I switch to heat vision, a white blob twitches out there against the sun-warmed rocks. The rabbit's ears stick up like antennae. In the cooler forest to our right, the sinuous curve of the jaguar lurks on a branch. It's watching us, probably wondering if we're a threat. How deadly are these big cats? I know in theory that the wild can kill you, but no animal is worse than an assassin with a barrage pistol. Then I remember the snake, invisible and almost silent, and I shudder. Beside me, Cole notches an arrow. Then he stands there unmoving for an endless seconds. When he strikes, it's all one motion, drawing the bow, aiming, letting the arrow fly. It flits through the tall grass, and an instant later the cottontail explodes into motion, its hind legs scrabbling, but it's like a pinned insect. The fluttering takes it nowhere. As Cole runs forward, I turn to watch the jaguar, my knife ready, but it's already disappearing deeper into the trees, graceful and unhurried. I switch off my heat vision and catch up with Cole, and he's breaking the rabbit's neck. He holds the limp body up by its ears, a look of satisfaction on his face. I don't have anything to skin this, he says. Can that weapon cut like a regular knife? It's not very sharp when it's turned off, but sure. Cole looks up into the sky. Think we can risk a fire? I close my eyes and listen. Last night we fell asleep to blooms in the distance, explosions, gunfire, suborbitals entering the atmosphere, but today is silent, the Victorians either defeated or hiding. My father must think we're dead, or that I'm headed toward the ruins on foot, hoping to be rescued. He has no reason to look for me this far down the coast, and my stomach is rumbling now. Might as well, I say, unless you want to eat it raw.